I played through all of Pokemon Legends ZA, and honestly, this game deserves Game of the Year. Yes, it even rivals against the heavy hitters like Expedition 33, Silk Song, Hades 2, Split Fiction, and all that. The Switch 2 experience really enhanced my experience in ways that I never really thought of. From the gameplay, to the graphics, to the city, and to the trees, I have never seen a more beautiful and gorgeous environment and graphics. Something that only the Switch 2 could ever produce. And look, I was going in with low expectations, right? I thought Scarlet and Violet was really good, but Legends Arceus, well, let's not talk about the game. And after playing Legends Arceus, I was really worried about this new mainline series that Pokemon really wants to push for. But with this entry, oh my, it's great. It's like they took everything wrong with Legends Arceus, and they made it right, and it got sculpted into the most perfect game, and is now like the masterpiece of the decade. I have never seen a better looking Pokemon game in my life. You can really tell they're going for like a nostalgic feel. I mean, it looks just slightly better than Sonic 06, and that game came out on the PS3. And when I asked Rock which is the better performing console, the PS4 or Switch 2, it said that the Switch 2 is a better performing console. And so I'm sure that Game Freak could have made Legends ZA look something like, I don't know, Palworld, you bad game. And so it's pretty clear that they were going for like that nostalgia feel that everyone wants. They listened to those dumb fans. I don't even know if you want to call them fans. Take us back to the DS, give us the pixels, we want something with soul. And so they gave us soul, they gave us nostalgia. We are going back to the good old Gen 4 days with these industry standard graphics. And remember, I bought the Switch 2 basically just for this game because I'm a die-hard fan. The entire game taking place all in one city, and one city only, is a dream come true. We finally shook up the formula of the game. Too many of these games got us traveling around these huge regions. I thought we were like 10 years old or something. Why do we got these old bum professors wanting us to travel to like China and back with just a pair of pants and a pet squirrel? So now, with Lumoy City as the only play space, it makes it much more realistic as a 10-year-old like kid, and it's crazy to think that we have to fill up our like Pokédex of 230 entries that all appear in Lumoy City. I wonder where all these Pokemon come from, actually. And we all know that Pokemon is like a multi-billion-dollar company with merchandise, card games, animes, and blah blah blah. And I'm happy that they're sticking to the tradition of no voice acting. Yes, the characters are more animated than ever before. Yes, the characters' mouths are moving. And yes, there is no voice acting in this game. And I am thankful for this. It means I get to practice my voice acting skills for when I get to trial for a game like Expedition 33 or something similar.
Just pulled into the Gara del Lumiois, am I right? And judging by that old travel bag, I've got to hunt you ahead to see some sights. You got that right, that I am. You're just the type I'm looking for. And you're about my height, will look natural standing side by side. Listen, could you do me a small favor? For real, it'll be small. I need to look into my camera and say Hotel Z's the best in Lumiois. Easy, right? No worries, if you're staying somewhere else, I just need a hand advertising the hotel. Sound good? Good. Okay, light, camera. I'm cringing. What is that noise? Oh, my ears. Oh, we can't film with the ads blurring in the background.
How thoughtful of Pokemon to give me this opportunity of showcasing my talent. In fact, I am sending in my resume to the Pokemon Company so I can appear in the anime with this video as my only form of experience, because I think that's all that's needed for their presumed budget. You have to remember, they are a small indie company after all. They changed up the combat for this entry, and is probably the biggest shakeup, at least in the mainline series. Game Freak is really taking a huge risk, a risk that I think Game Freak could ever make in the history of video games. Instead of turn-based combat, they decided to go action-based, and all Pokemon moves are based on a cooldown. Wow, so ambitious and courageous of Game Freak to lead the entire gaming industry out of the dark ages and into the bright, warm embrace of the golden age. I love running around in circles as the trainer during combat and holding the left trigger the entire time and mindlessly bashing buttons. Because the most important thing in a Pokemon game is the immersion. The immersion of being a Pokemon trainer and commanding your Pokemon into its impending doom. Whatever you see on the screen is the depth of the combat, which is very good. Sometimes, in simplicity is where the complexity lies. Someone probably said. And you guys know me. I played Xenoblade Chronicles 3, worst game of the year when it came out, and I would say that Legend ZA combat is loosely related to Xenoblade. And I would say it's a very simple and very stripped down version of that game. In Xenoblade, you got different like class rolls, certain moves taunt, certain moves heals and debuffs. Some moves are better attacking an enemy from the side, maybe from the back, maybe from the front, maybe even after certain other moves. And there's chain attacks, upgrade trees, different classes, blah blah blah. There's just too many things in the game. But with Legend ZA, it's simple. You don't control where your Pokemon goes, you just do it and it moves. And it does it. And maybe you gotta like dodge roll here and there because there's an alpha Pokemon here and there, but that's all there is to it. Very simple, very easy, and you'll be doing it the entire time. And that's how you lead a company to the golden age. And of course, even with masterpieces, there are still a few things that I wish were better. No game is truly perfect, right? The music is just bad. They really took the meme, "You like jazz?" and just spammed it the entire time. Chilling at a cafe? Jazz. Walking through a plaza? Jazz. Rooftop jumping? Jazz. Fighting God, potentially? Jazz. It's so bad that it got me humming like some of the tunes. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, I wish it would just stop. I also didn't like the inclusion of these like interior dungeons. Thankfully there were only 2 of them, but they were kind of like away from like the overworld of Lumoy City. One of them was the sewers, and honestly it was very disgusting and very confusing down there. They had me doing things like a puzzle in there that I couldn't really understand, and I wish for, not just for Legend series, but for all Pokemon games. Stop making interior dungeon-like things. No one liked going through Team Rocket hideout in the Kanto region, and I loved not having any of that in Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, and there's a reason for that. Keep these, like, dungeons out of these modern games. It's not healthy and appropriate for little kids playing these games. Okay, and another thing I didn't like was the character models. Now, please don't get it confused. Environment in the world? Good. The player model, NPC models, and Pokemon models? Bad. Now, we all know I loved Scarlet and Violet because one of the things they did right was that the game forced everyone to wear a school uniform. It's so these dumb kids don't get distracted when these other characters start expressing themselves a little too much. I go on Twitter and I see people thirsting over a streamer. I go on Twitter and everyone's taking pictures with a girl's ass and making it their in-game profile picture. Is there no shame and dignity nowadays? Take me back to the good old days of standards and uniforms. That was when society was at its peak. Okay, look. Pokemon Legends ZA is the best Pokemon game to this day. The graphics are at an all-time high, the combat is very fluid and has layers to it. Catching and training Pokemon has never been better, and when I wake up every day to play more, even after beating the post-game Super Boss and catching Zygarde, there's a plentiful amount of content that you just don't see in other games. And with the DLC coming soon with Mega Evolution of Raichu and the awesome Pokemon Battle Royale mode, this game is here to stay, and I can't wait to be playing more of this for years, maybe even decades to come. And with Pokemon Black and White Remake, Pokemon Waves and Winds, or even Pokemon Legends in Alola, based on the ending of this game, I think it's safe to say that this is a return to form for Game Freak, and this entry gives me full confidence that the next entry of the franchise will lead us further into the golden age because no other company or game can make a game like Pokemon. That'll do it for me for today. Make sure to like and subscribe as my goal is to get to 500 subs by the end of the month. I hope you guys have a great rest of your days, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Yeah, this game sucks. Buy it if and when this game goes on sale. I can't believe this game was $70.